Okay, good afternoon. So for our first hands-on exercise, that is basic map preparation, kindly visit your LMS. Allow me to share my screen. Okay, so in your LMS for week 4, March 21 to 25, you can download the PDF file for the instructions. Simply click this one and you can download the handout, PDF file of the handout. Okay. For the data sets, you can download the exercise 1 basic map preparation on the data set on my Google Drive. Simply click the link and it will lead you to the Google Drive. In my Google Drive, you can view the different folders from exercise 1 to exercise 10. But for this lesson, we will be downloading only the basic map preparation folder. So right click and then click download. So it will be downloaded later on, but in my case, I have to stop this one since the file is already on my folder on my desktop. So once it's downloaded, you can go back to, you can start your QGIS software. On your start menu, you search for QGIS and select QGIS Desktop 2.18.23. In my desktop or in my laptop, I have installed 2 versions of the QGIS. Versions 3.18.1, which is the updated version, and the older version is 2.18.23. In our case, we will be using the 2.18.23, as downloaded on our previous lessons. So click this one and it will open. So this is our blank map data for exercise 1. I think I have to stop this one. Okay, we'll just leave it here. So in your map QGIS, first is you have to click project and then adjust the project properties. So in the project properties, CRS, you select WGS 84. Click enable on the fly, this one, and select QGIS 84. Apply and click OK. So here we have the map display. We have the layers panel. These are the browser panel and the different side menu. And here the different menus that we can use for GIS analysis. So for our first activity, we will add basic maps on our map display. So click this one, this icon, add a vector layer, and then browse where you have downloaded the basic map preparation folder. So click browse and search for this one. So in my case, I have saved the directory or the folder in this directory, basic map preparation. So double click, and on the data folder, you double click again, you will find the provincial boundary PSA. Double click and you will have this shapefile. So this is a shapefile, a vector file with with an ending of .shp. It means to say this is a shapefile. You click and open, and then click open again. So this will load into your map display. So this one is the map of Caraga region. We have different provinces: Agusan del Norte, Agusan del Sur, Surigao del Sur, Surigao del Norte, and we have the Dinagat Islands. So to display the label of the different provinces, we have to right-click this one. Now on our layers panel, right-click and click the properties. On the properties, you click the label. Then on the drop-down arrow, you select show labels for this layer. And label with, you select the province name or row underscore name or the province name. In the buffer, you draw a buffer text. Click apply and click OK. So if you notice, our data set has already label. We can determine which is Agusan del Norte, which is Agusan del Sur, Surigao del Sur, Surigao del Norte, and the Dinagat Islands. We can further manipulate our data by changing the different symbology or categorize each of the provinces based on their, on different colors. So again, we have to right-click, click properties, and then on the style, we have here single symbol. You click the down arrow and click categorize. In the column, you select which you are going to categorize. So for example, this is the province name. Select the province name, and then you click classify. So once you click classify, the different provinces will be displayed. We will notice that there is one additional feature that is not labeled. So you can click this one and delete. So what remains are the 5 different provinces in Caraga region. So you can also change the color depending on your preference. For example, you can select the random colors. You can have the elevation or in spectral color. So whatever you like, as long as it's the boundaries are visible, and then the colors are not so distracting. So nindot siya sa ating pananaw. It's pleasant to our eye. Once you're satisfied with the different colors, you can click apply. So if you notice, the colors of the different provinces are now changed. So you have different colors for each provinces. So if you are satisfied already, and if not, you can again select the colors by manually clicking on the different colors. Double click, and you can select any color you want. This one, etc. But in my case, I will leave it as is and default. So I think I'm satisfied with this one, so I can now click OK. So my map now is ready for layouting. Anyway, this is the QGIS display. So in order to make a map, you have to lay out this one on the map composer. On the project menu, you select a new print composer. This will prompt you to create a unique print composer title. So you simply input your name initials. So in my case, RTS. Okay. So once clicking the OK, it will give you it will lead you to a new window in QGIS. Okay. So a new window in QGIS. So this is your map layout window or map composer. And we have your QGIS. This one. So in the map composer, palang, first click on the composition. So we have to configure our map layouts. On the presets, it's A4. So this is an A4 size bond paper, and the orientation is landscape. So we will change the landscape into portrait. Then click full extent or zoom full. Leave everything as is. Now we have to add our map that we created in QGIS. So how to add the map? On the left side, click this icon, add new map. Okay, once you click the icon, the cursor transform into a plus sign, and you can simply drag from one corner towards the bottom. And then release. So now you can see the map that we had created on QGIS is now displayed in your composer. But this is quite very small compared to the size of your A4 paper. So again, going back to the left menus, select this icon, move item content. Select, and then you can click and drag your map somewhere in the middle. And then going back into the item properties, when you say item properties, this is your first item for map 0. And these are the properties. Looking at the scale is about 2,700,000 something. So we have, that means to say the larger the value, the smaller is our map details. If we lessen the value or decrease the value, the map will increase, showing much detail on the map feature. So we have to increase the scale. When you see increase, we have to lower our number. The number. So let's try 1,500,000 and click enter. Okay, now you have the map. You can further increase your scale into 1:200,000. What will happen? Okay. So you have now a larger and detailed map. Okay. So again, in the item properties of map 0, this is our map 0, we will have a frame. We'll put a frame for our map 0. So click frame. Okay, now a frame is already constructed. Then for every map, we have to indicate our coordinates. Okay, northings and the eastings. So where are we going to find our coordinates? So find the grids, this one. Click, and then you select add. You click add, you'll have a grid 1. On its properties, we select the grid type. From solid, we can select cross, markers, frames, annotations, or etc. So in this case, we will select frames and annotations only. And then the CRS, click the change and select again the one that we used before as the WGS 84. Okay. And then on the unit, interval unit, we will put 0.5 or 0.5. Tab 0.5 and okay. On the grid frame or frame style, we can select anything here. Zebra, interior, but in my case, I will select zebra. So now, our coordinates will be displayed later. Going downward, we have to draw now our coordinates. In the format, we can select decimal or degree minute. This one, degree minute. Okay. And then the precision is 2. Okay. I think it's now okay. And then going back to our this one, we will position our map properties in between. Dapat nasa sa center. In the center of our layout. So if you notice, we have the coordinates displayed already on the top, the bottom, left, and right. But in this case, on our left side, the coordinates were displayed horizontally, so, and also on the right side. So let us change this one, by configuring the left, this one, the left displays. So on the left, oops, excuse me. Hello, ma'am. Ma'am? Kuan, ma'am, wala pa na human, ma'am, kaya ang sikbit niya nga kuan kanang way agyanan ang harvester, naghulat pa sa mahuman tong sikbit niya. Oh. Wala pa. Nagpaman tong akong pagod karon pa man to udto nag-istorya tong caretaker nga wa daw kasugod sa mua kay way maagyan ng harvester. Iuna pa nila tong sikbit. Mo text lang siguro og ma'am kung makuan na. Okay, basta kami na may sunod dayon. Sige ma'am, salamat. Okay. Let's resume. So on the left side, we have this horizontal. So we'll select vertical ascending. So on the left side, it automatically changed into vertical ascending format. Then we will also change the right side. Horizontal, in this case, we will use the vertical ascending. Okay. So to view of what we have done, so these are now the coordinates. We can also change this one into another format to display the eastings or the northings, if these are the east or the west or whatever. And the degree format, you can use align. I mean, with align. Okay. Degree minutes aligned. So on the degree minute aligned, the easting is now displayed as well as the northing. So this point here is 125.0 degrees towards the east. In 125 degrees, 30 minutes east, and etc. Okay, let's go to zoom full. Next we have to do is to add some details on our map by adding the legend. Click the legend, on the layout, click the legend and then drag somewhere, anywhere. Pwede dito sa baba or pwede on the top side. Pwede sa baba na lang dito eh. And then we edit on the legend, we edit the content. This one. Double click and edit the detail. So let's have it as provincial boundary only. Okay, and this one. So the legend provincial boundary is now displayed. Next we have to do is to add the north arrow. Again, on the layout, you click layout and then you add image. So clicking add image and then drag somewhere here. Then, so this is blank. And going back into the picture detail, you click this one, you know, main properties, search directories. On the search directory, you click and then you wait for some time to load, and then the images will be loaded. And then you can select the different arrows. Pwede siya, this one, or in my case, I will be using this one. Then reduce the size, dili siya eyesore, nalindot siya down. Okay. Then next, but not the least, is our title. So add label, and then edit the title as map of Caraga region. Enter. And not enter yet. Now, if you notice, the letters are quite small, so we can change the font and select on the size, say 36. Okay, it's quite large. And drag and then position the box. So you can use the guidelines to position. Okay, map of Kara region, etc. Okay, that's more parang okay na to. Then lastly, you write your name. Roger T. Sarmiento, section DE1. Increase the font into say 14, okay. Then drag so that everything will be visible. Right side. Then change the font, say Times New Roman. Times New Roman, and I want it to be italicized. 16, okay. Drag so that everything is okay. So our map is now ready for printing. So once you're satisfied with your map already, you can now save it into a JPEG format for submission. So in the composer here, you click composer and export as image. Then find the folder where you downloaded your exercise one and select the outputs. So here you can say a lot of maps already because I have tried this several times. So you just save your work using this format, exercise one underscore your name and save. So I have to replace the one I made earlier. Okay, 300, so save and wait for QGIS to finish the process or the processes. In a way, this is just our first activity now, so everything is just basic application. So it's already done, it's finished already. You can check your work on the folder you have saved your basic map preparation. On the outputs, exercise one, Sarmiento, and double click. Okay, this is already saved as an image file or JPEG file. Okay, so once you're done already, You can close your work and then go back to your LMS and submit, submit the file. Anyway, for our first hands-on exercise, the due will be on March 25, that is Friday. So this is visible already. And okay, I think that's all for our first exercise. If you have questions, then can send private messages on the Facebook group or the messenger. So if you do have, if no more questions, then I think stop sharing and thank you for listening. Stay tuned for the next um, video presentation on exercise 2. Thank you and good day.